Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today I have another read-a-thon TBR for Witch-a-thon. I'm so excited for this read-a-thon because it is being hosted by one of my all-time favorite people here on BookTube, Rhiannon from Crescent Moon Reads. If you haven't subscribed to her or checked her out already, literally what are you doing with your life? Her info will be linked down below in the description box. Rhiannon herself is a witch and she is a practicing tarot reader as well, and she created a very fantastic group of challenges for this read-a-thon, so I'm so pumped to be taking part, and like I said, I'm clearly obsessed with Rhiannon, so hi. This read-a-thon is taking place in the very last week of October, finishing on Halloween, so I believe it starts on the 24th. So I've got several books to talk about, and without any more rambling or obsessing over Rhiannon, let's get into my TBR. The first challenge is to read a thriller or horror novel, and for this I chose The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This is a story about a young woman who goes back to her hometown, I think after the death of a neighbor or a family member or something, and she finds herself at the house nearby, like down the road, reminiscing about her childhood, and she starts remembering some of these things that occurred during her childhood that are, I don't know, kind of weird or odd or concerning. It's part horror thriller, also kind of fantasy, a little bit of magical realism. Mostly I've just heard it's kind of weird, but really entertaining and very atmospheric, and so it's perfect for this time of year. I've been waiting to read this. Adam read this in like a day, read it like one Saturday a couple weeks ago, and so I feel like this is a great pick for a read-a-thon because hopefully I can do the same. I've never read any Neil Gaiman before, and I can't wait to finally check this author off my list. He's definitely one that I have been wanting to read for a long time, and I'm hoping that I love this and can pick up more of his books soon. Next up is to read a book that will make you warm and happy, which I just think is so great. This doesn't have to be all about spooky thriller books. Like, let's lighten the mood a little bit as well, right? For this, I chose Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. I talked about this in my 5-star predictions video. I just love Julie Murphy so much. So this is about our main character, Willow Dean, whose mom calls her Dumplin'. And I think she goes by Will, so there's like a lot of nicknames for her. Her mother is a former beauty queen, and her best friend is an all-American beauty. And Willow Dean has always been very comfortable in her skin. She is a self-dubbed fat girl and totally comfortable and proud of that. But she starts working at this new fast food place, and she meets Beau, who is a private school boy, and she is got a big crush on him. And then she's surprised when he likes her back. And instead of being confident and really self-assured by this, she finds herself more self-conscious than ever. And so she decides to put herself out of her comfort zone and enters a beauty pageant. So this is really about her like self-confidence and just, yeah, taking over a space that is not normally dominated by fat women. And so yeah, I just think it sounds great. I'm so excited to read a Julie Murphy book, and that's all. The next challenge is to read by candlelight. I have Agatha Christie Masterpieces in Miniature, The Detectives. So obviously I don't hope to read this entire thing during the read-a-thon, but this is just a collection of a bunch of short stories. And so my plan is every night to light a candle and read one short story from this collection. I just think this is so cool, and I love Agatha Christie. I'm excited to see what these little miniature masterpieces are all about. That's it. I think I might try to read maybe one short story from each detective. There are 4 in here, so I could totally do 4 short stories, and then we'll see from there if I want to read more. I hope you saw that in my like thumbnail and were like, girl, what are you doing? Maybe you thought I was reading it or something. No way. The next prompt is to read a paranormal story, but I am not really into paranormal stories. I feel like all the ones that I've read have just been kind of meh for me. And so rather than risk falling into a slump or risk trying to force myself through something that I'm not enjoying, I switched it up a little bit, and instead of paranormal, I picked up a sci-fi horror thriller, The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. This is like a gross sticker residue in the corner, but this sounds terrifying-ish, and I have heard it's really creepy. This is about a girl who has some sort of special ability or gift, and I think and I don't know what it is. I know nothing about this really other than that it's creepy, and I think it's multiple perspectives from like a bunch of different types of characters. It seems interesting, and it's one that I've really wanted to read for a long time. I put it on my book bucket list for this year, and we're getting to the end of the year and I haven't read it yet, which is true of most of the books that I put on there. Like I said, I don't know much about it other than that this girl has some like lethal, deadly gift or power, and she is constantly like handcuffed to a chair and guarded by armed men. So I literally have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but I'm super excited about it. Next is to read a book that is some way related to your ethnic heritage. And I don't know a lot about my ethnic heritage. I'm white, I'm mostly Western European. I know I'm like Italian, Irish, Scottish, probably French and English, but I don't really know specifically. My great-grandmother was very proud of her Scottish heritage and, you know, loved bagpipe music and traveled to Scotland when she was older, and it was just such an amazing experience for her. So I wanted to honor that part of myself and her. So I went with a Scottish theme, and one of the most obvious Scottish tales is Macbeth by William Shakespeare. I've never read Macbeth. Yeah. I did read a couple of Shakespeare stories in high school. I read Romeo and Juliet a couple of years ago, so I'm trying to catch up. Also, isn't this edition so pretty? I don't even really know the story of Macbeth. Like, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen when I read this, but I'm excited about it. I think it also, maybe this is kind of paranormal. Aren't there ghosts involved? I don't know, but on the back it says, double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. So it seems like it'll be the perfect read for both my Scottish heritage and for Witch-a-thon. Look at this nice like red, orange, yellow theme we've got going. Next challenge is to buddy read a book, which I think is such a great challenge to include in this. So I'm going to be buddy reading with my friend Jocelyn from Yogi with a Book, who is also one of my favorite people here on BookTube, and we decided to read An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. If you watch Murphy Napier's videos, she is obsessed with this book. She read it recently, and so I'm really excited to see what this is all about. I'll be honest, I don't really know anything. I know it's a fantasy, and I assume it has something to do with magicians and maybe a group of magicians. Maybe they're unkind. I don't know. Ooh, okay. I looked up the synopsis. This takes place in New York City, so it's an urban fantasy, and magic is disappearing, and no one knows why, except for Sydney, who holds a unique power or type of magic that hasn't been seen in decades, but she's the only one that could save the magic system, and she doesn't want to save it, she wants to destroy it. So it sounds really interesting, and it sounds great. I haven't read that much urban fantasy, but I would definitely love to. Also, Jocelyn lives in New York City, so I feel like that might be kind of cool for her. But anyway, that is that. I'm super pumped to read this with her. And then the last challenge is to read the group book, which is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I believe this school I work at has this in the library, so I will hopefully check this out. So this is a middle grade fantasy series about a town that sacrifices a baby to the forest witch every year, hoping that this will keep her away and keep them safe from her. But what they don't know is that the witch is very kind and gentle, and she rescues these sacrificed babies and brings them to families on the other side of the forest and feeds them and nourishes them with starlight along the way. One year she accidentally feeds the baby moonlight, which gives the baby lots of magic and different unmatched abilities, and the witch is very scared about this and she doesn't know what's going to happen, so she locks the magic deep inside Luna, the baby, and she decides to raise her on her own. But when Luna turns 13, her magic starts to emerge, and Zan the witch is far away, and so she has to figure out how to cope with her magic, essentially. So this sounds like a lot of fun. It just sounds charming and cute, and so I hope I will be able to get this from the library as well. But that is everything for this video. Here is my Witch-a-thon TBR. I am super excited and so happy that Rhiannon is hosting this. She's gonna do a fabulous job. I'm hoping to vlog it. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you have read any of these, or if you are also participating in Witch-a-thon, let me know in the comments down below, or you can find all of my social media links in the description box if you want to chat with me there. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my next video. But until then, happy reading. Bye.